White women doing stupid shit like this. White women can be absolutely detrimental to the black community. I'm sick and tired of seeing this shit.
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back. So to those of you who might have noticed or be wondering, yes, I just cut my hair 2 days ago, and this is my first time rocking hair as short as this, and you guys, I'm loving it. I'm just feeling that whole African queen kind of energy. Anyway, let's just get right into today's video. So today's video is something very interesting. It's a whole current situation. A black man who had his first problematic Karen experience, and he was terrified. And when this whole thing was happening, he actually brought out his phone and recorded, and who knows, maybe that's why it didn't get as bad as it might have gotten. Let me play his video right now.
She is on the phone with 911 right now.
She said I'm rude and he's just threatening me right now.
Look at her. She said I just threatened her. What threat? What threat did I make towards you?
I'm Elizabeth.
What threat did I make towards you, ma'am? Huh? This is crazy. I've never.
Show me.
I already knew what it was when I first got here, though.
He or she is 1 minute later trying to sound distressed so the police can come quicker.
What?
I'm shaking right now. Please.
What in the world is this, boy? I ain't gonna lie. I've never in my life had to deal with no bullshit like this. Never in my life.
What I find kind of amusing, but at the same time shocking, is the fact that this woman was just able to switch it up. You know, when she's just talking normally and then on the phone call to the police, she's like all of a sudden pretending to cry, pretending that she's scared for her life. And I'm like, it's so easy. Like, are these people, are they like born actresses? Because they tend to always do this. I've seen this happen a couple of times where everything is normal, and before you know it, just because they have someone in mind that they want to set up, when they go into full Karen mode, before you know, the white woman tears come and they're hyperventilating, and I'm like, sis, you were just talking normally just like few seconds ago. Anyway, when that video was made and he posted it, he got millions of views. I think about 30 million or thereabouts. And a lot of black people were in the comment section checking up on him like, bro, what's up? What was the outcome? I hope you're fine. Are you okay? We need an update. And fortunately, I went to his page and we had an update on the whole situation, where he came out and narrated what actually happened and what led up to that whole Karen moment and her calling the cops and all of that. Let me play his video right now.
How y'all doing? I just want to start off by saying thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for the love and support. Appreciate everybody for reaching out to me. I am okay. I've been getting a lot of comments on my last video, similar to this one, asking about my well-being. I am unharmed. Basically, I'm gonna just give y'all a little update about what happened that day. So basically, I'm an HVAC technician. I'm contracted out daily to go to different people's homes. I clean air ducts, I clean furnaces, air conditioning units, dryer vents, good stuff like that around your homes. That day, I was contracted to go out to her home by her and her husband. They wanted their air ducts cleaned. So right off that, I pull up to the home, I grab a few pieces of equipment out my van, then I eventually enter the home. As soon as I enter the home, the woman is standing by the door. She greets me at the door. She doesn't tell me her name or anything. I introduce myself. I let her know what I'm there for. If she could show me certain parts of the home that I'll need to know about in order to do my job. So she was the only one there. Her husband was at work, so automatically knew to be as gentle as possible. I am a stranger coming into your home at the end of the day. You're by yourself, so I already knew how to approach the scene with her. As I'm talking to her for the first time, I'm already picking up a bad energy from her. She's giving me a bland stare as I'm explaining to her the things that I'll need to do around the home and the things that I'll need to access. She would periodically cut me off as I was trying to explain certain things to her. So I eventually asked her to see her utility room. That's where I would end the cleaning by cleaning her furnace. She kind of turned towards me and looked like, why do I need to show you that room? Like, why do you need to go down there? That's when I then explained to her, I would end the cleaning there. So she kind of slowly walked down. That's when she, showed me where the room was in the basement. So as soon as she shows me the utility room, I instantly start my work to inspect the furnace. I take the furnace door off. I pull my phone out, start taking inspection photos just to show her, make sure nothing needs an extra cleaning in the furnace, make sure everything is working properly. So as I'm about to begin my work in the utility room, she's literally right over my shoulder. She's not leaving my side. She's watching everything that I'm doing. She then asked me, they let me do a job like this? And that's when I kind of turned towards her like, what does that mean? Like, I'm confused on what you're asking me. So I kind of giggled that off. I'm there to make the money. I'm really not trying to talk to you. So it was an awkward silence at that moment because I already kind of could pick up what type of time she was on. So I was just trying to do my job and get out of there. So I'm trying to continue to take these photos. I can hear her over my shoulder. She's going in and out of her foreign language and English. Her English side, I kept hearing, how long have I been doing the job? Do I know what I'm doing? Stuff like that. So as she's asking me these questions, I am answering them. I'm being professional, being polite as possible. Basically let her know that, yes, I am a trained professional. I know what I'm doing here. I then go to flick her through the photos that I just took in her furnace. That's when she looks at me and she then claims that the photos that I was showing her weren't photos of her home. So as she said this, I kind of stopped and I'm looking at the photos like, I'm confused on what you mean. I literally just took these photos. You're watching me take the photos, But hey, me being the professional that I am, I go down and I retake the same photos so she can see me take the photos, clearly take them in her furnace, and show her those photos again. She then goes on a little rant, basically saying she doesn't trust me. She doesn't think that I'm going to do a good job in her home, and that she was going to call her husband. Now, once she said this, I was already at the edge of I'm not going to do the cleaning in her home because she was basically labeling herself as a problematic customer. Didn't want to create another problem by doing the cleaning and she call in later about something just to try to get a refund or even get me fired. So at this point, she's not letting me talk. She's basically trying to talk over me, cutting me off every time. So at that point, you're being problematic. So I let her know I'm not going to do the cleaning there. I'm going to give my office a call. They should be contacting you and you guys can go from there. But as for now, I'm going to pack all my equipment and I'm going to leave. So as I'm packing my equipment, I start making my way upstairs to leave her home. She's following right behind me, literally on my back, basically on the back of my heels. She's so close to me. Threatening to call her husband, yelling at me, saying all sorts of things. As I'm walking through the garage, I hear her yell that she's going to call the police. Now, I know if someone calls the police on you and you leave the scene before they arrive, that's basically you fleeing the crime scene. So I let her know, if you call the police, then I'm going to stay. I'm going to wait for them. I then start to record. So after the recording, I was just in shock. Like, I didn't know what just happened. I was literally standing outside in a blizzard. So I got in my van, watching my surroundings, waiting on the police to show up. I didn't know what type of police unit was going to show up just by how she was acting on the phone, making it seem like I was causing harm to her or something. So I was honestly scared. So luckily, it was only 2 officers that showed up. They came to defuse the situation, basically asked me to leave the premises. They did take down some information. Before I was about to leave, the officer that went up to her and got her side of the story actually came up to me on her behalf to see if I was willing to stay and do the cleaning, but I simply declined. This also happened in Golden Valley, Minnesota. So I stay in Minnesota, and that's where this incident took place. So that's what happened. I do want to thank you guys once again. Appreciate the love and support that you guys have been showing me. This will not be the last that you guys will see of me. Let's end racism together. Peace.
So you guys can see. Let me play some reactions to the whole current situation.
There is so much I want to say to this. White women, what the actual Can we stop doing this shit? It's 2023. Can we please stop with the fake tears? Like, what that man he was doing his job. He wasn't anywhere near her raggedy ass. And she crying on the phone, and then all of a sudden break down out of nowhere and start acting like she's scared. That man, what did you see the look on his face? Like, complete disbelief that this was even happening to him. This should not be happening. It is 2023. White women, pull your heads out of your ass. You are not fucking, what's the bitch's name? Scarlett O'Hara and Gone with the Wind. That's the problem with a lot of you white females. You act like you fucking, oh, Southern Belle, oh, woe is me. Oh, this black man looked at me. Get over it. So fucking, the man's doing his job. Can we please leave black people alone in 2023? And I'm going to put this out in the universe, and I pray to all the gods in existence that just once, I wish a Karen would in front of me. I wish a Karen would in front of me. You know how fucking stupid you look? You know how ridiculous? And you wonder why black women have such a fucking issue with white women, because this type of shit gets their men killed. This type of shit is what gets their men locked up. White women doing stupid shit like this. White women can be absolutely detrimental to the black community. I'm sick and tired of seeing this shit.
Yo, that shit is disgusting, bro. Like, and I guarantee she didn't even get in trouble for calling the cops on bullshit. Like, motherfuckers got to start being penalized for weaponizing the fucking police against people of color. That shit is just sickening, bro. Like, that man could have been shot and killed off of bullshit. And I guarantee nothing happened to her. I guarantee nothing happened to that lady. And it's crazy that we can't go to work or, you know, just live life without worrying about if a motherfucker's gonna call the cops and tell them a goddamn lie. And the way that she milked that shit and crying on the phone and making her voice tremble, I mean, she should have been a fucking actor, dude. Like, that's just crazy. It's sick, man. And I hope that dude is all right, man, because that's just sick shit. Because he could have not made it home off of the bullshit that she pulled. And I guarantee you her family members gonna make excuses for her and all kind of crazy shit like, oh, it's the pandemic type shit. That's bullshit. And we should not have to deal with that shit on a regular basis.
She is on the phone with 911 right now.
This just pissed me off to the maximum capacity, because it's like, do other people not be real? Because the lady looked Chinese to me from the video. Do other people, other cultures not be realizing what be going on to black men specifically? Like, yes, it happens to black women too, but like, especially our men. Do they not realize what the be going on and what some of these black men be going through when these ass cops come? Like, have you not just seen what happened in Memphis? Like, I'm glad this man was recording, because, like, that could be my husband. That could be my son. That could be my uncle, you know, my brother. Like, I really despise people that do this shit, because there's really real shit out here with real crimes happening. Oh, my God. I hope somebody punch that bitch in her face. Like, really give her something to cry about.
It's just threatening me.
If you take a look at my old content from, like, 2020, 2019, it's changed a lot, because January of 2021 I met my two best friends. I ran a crew of 7 people for an engineering company, and what I witnessed working for this company, because we have to gain access to people's property, is my two best friends, one from the Philippines and one from here, one's Filipino obviously and the other one's black, go through some crazy shit. Like, they go behind a house to hook up to a gas meter or a water service or whatever the case may be, and they get questioned. I understand wanting to know what somebody's doing on your property, but it doesn't just stop at being questioned. No ID was ever good enough for them. No amount of information that they could provide or prove what they're doing there was good enough for them. And it always ended in the same way. You're not going anywhere, we're gonna wait for the police. So basically, the people that do this have made it uncool to do the type of shit that I do. My process would go as follows. I would verify the customer's information who has the service from whatever utility that I have access to because I have access to their account information. I'd call them by their first name. But even before this, they talk to me completely differently. Sometimes, before even verifying information, they just accept identification. But it was always the same thing for Trey and Jean. It always broke my heart. Trey served 13 years in the Marine Corps. He was given a Purple Heart for his role when he was across seas fighting. He's still got 7.62 shrapnel in his chest, fighting for this country. How do I know that he's a Purple Heart recipient? I was one of the few people that got an invitation to the award ceremony. And it breaks my heart, because every time these things happen, he'd say, it's okay. It's not. I'd always wait for the police, because after I verify my information and they decide, oh no, now I don't want the cops. No, I want the police here. And I tell them the same thing. Why was my ID and me telling you good enough? But it wasn't for them. I would try to pull the quiet part from them. And I would make it very uncomfortable. It should be uncomfortable. I mean, for Christ's sake, Gene was working in a right-of-way a couple months ago. Not even on this guy's property. He came outside and told Gene that he was going to shoot 4 times. Gene did nothing wrong. Then when Gene told me this, I was standing in front of this guy's house, like literally like in his driveway, documenting his address. He walked past me and went right back over to Gene and started problems. Sorry I had to go through this, bro. And if it wasn't for Trey and Gene, I would have never known this shit actually happens. But it does.
She is on the phone with 911 right now.
You know, I never thought I'd say this to somebody, but man, I hope you're in California. Penal Code 148.3 PC. A person who reports a false 911 emergency situation is guilty of a misdemeanor if they know that the report is false. Punishment could be up to 1 year county jail and a $1,000 fine. Now that call becomes a felony if the call results in great bodily injury or death. And that is up to 3 years in county jail or a $10,000 fine. You know, there is false 911 reporting emergency laws on the books, and I think it's like 32 states. If this type of shit happens to you, press charges. And the reason I say you need to press charges is once these old pieces of shit start spending time in the county jail and paying fines for making false 911 calls, I bet you those calls slow the fuck down. So yeah, check out your local laws on the book and make sure you press charges. We need to stop letting this shit slide.
He's just threatening me.
Yesterday I stitched that video saying it is particularly egregious when a person of color does that to a black man because we should know better. And furthermore, I hoped that the police either didn't show up or if they did, that they charged her with falsely reporting a crime. Because in the state of New York, ever since the infamous Central Park dog walker situation, that has become recognized as a hate crime. And not surprisingly, the video was removed for a CGV. Even though I had appealed it successfully twice during the day, it was permanently removed this morning, and again, I'm not surprised on this platform. But there were a couple more things that I wanted to say about it. First, people in the comments were asking if the caller is Asian and the person she's calling about is black, then why am I saying that that has to do with white supremacy? Isn't that just an Asian woman being towards a black person? Yes, it is an Asian woman being towards a black person. However, the reason why I say that she is aligning herself with white supremacy is because she chose to weaponize a system policing against a black person. And if our policing system wasn't systemically racist, then she wouldn't have placed that call, because only in a systemically system would anybody think to call 911 because a black person called them rude. So that's why it's aligning herself with white supremacy. Second, some commenters took issue with the fact that I referred to the caller as a woman of color because they feel that Asian people are white. Asian people are not white. I have always openly acknowledged the white adjacency that some Asian Americans receive in white supremacy culture because Asian Americans are used as a wedge to oppress the black community. And a lot of my work involves urging Asian Americans to not align with whiteness and white supremacy culture because doing so ultimately hurts black, brown, indigenous, and people of color. But we experience racial discrimination and systemic racism. This is particularly true for Asian American men, and if that were not the case, we would not be scapegoated for illness and economic crisis and loss of opportunity for white people.
Just threatening
White women, that is attempted murder. That woman wanted the police to come and use violence against that young man for doing his job. I don't want to hear anything about, well, we don't know anything about the context or whatever. That young man was standing there calmly, recording for his safety. And that woman was trying to get that young man killed. Do not do this. We need to do better.
At this point, I just wish somebody would make an example out of this shit. You know, she needs to get charged. She needs to get publicly charged and made an example out of. She just put that man's life in danger. You know? She just threatened that man's life. Sick of this shit.
They really need to start doing something about these people that call and make these fake ass calls. And it needs to be a worser charge than just a falsified call. It needs to be attempted murder. Honestly, because they know exactly what they're doing. She started breaking out into hysterics. They know how the cops treat us, and they're doing this, and they know damn well it could result in an unaliving. So start charging them for attempted murder. Literally, I'm so sick of seeing this shit. These people know exactly what they're doing, regardless of race. Same thing with the man who called the police on his little girl neighbor and said it was a woman. But they've been neighbors for years. These people know exactly what they're doing, and they're criminals.
People who call the police on some stupid shit like this, especially that false fucking bullshit, should be put in jail once they find out that it's all bullshit. Y'all putting these people's life in danger, bro. I don't think y'all understand shit like that. Y'all can single-handedly ruin someone's life, bro. Like, that's fucking embarrassing, bro. Nah, I don't know who you are, my brother, but shit, I hope you fucking safe, bro. Like, real talk. And I hope after all this shit done, that got charged with something.
What? This shit's so crazy. If a woman start crying, your ass better just sit down and put your hands behind your back.
So you see what's shocking to me is that this young man is on his own. He acted as professionally as he could. You could see the company logo that he's wearing on the head warmer and on his shirt. So obviously this guy is telling the truth. And he gets there and he's as patient and as professional and as cautious as possible. And that is still not good enough for these people. You know, sometimes when they call the cops and they act all scared and threatened by black men, they say it's usually because, oh, maybe because of the way he's dressed, or he seemed suspicious, walking with his hood up, he's at night, he seemed aggressive, maybe he looked like a gangbanger and all of that. But in this situation, this is broad daylight, this is on your turf in your home, and then you have him being as patient, and this is someone obviously trying to make an honest living, and you still feel threatened. So what exactly is making you feel threatened? It's crazy. And I find it funny that she even had the guts to ask if he could come back and do the job after she had full on called the cops on him and all of that. Like, really? So this is just, it's terrible. And I saw in the comment where someone stated that I hope the company actually followed up that whole situation. They should be able to stop her from patronizing them or something. Like, there needs to be some form of repercussions, or maybe even press charges. I don't know if that's a situation where you can press charges, but I know something definitely needs to be done so that she doesn't do that to someone else. Because I believe if she could have done that to him without any provocation, she would do it to someone else and someone else and someone else, because that is just the way a person like that is. Anyway, I think I've said enough. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the whole thing and how he handled it? I can just imagine how scared that guy was, especially being that the police was coming, and it was smart of him to have stayed. I think black people generally just need to keep educating themselves on how to handle situations like this, or how to handle people like this, so that you come out unharmed, because these things can easily just go left, and that's really sad. Anyway, please, you guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on notifications so that way YouTube lets you guys know whenever I drop a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.